and welcome. I'm so excited for today's video. As we're gonna get into is another tiny home makeshift challenge build idea that I'm very excited, but the main point for it is it's gonna be implemented in our gameplay for our Disney Princess Challenge, which I've mentioned multiple times on our channel here, but if you're not keeping up with that, that's a-okay. If you are, it'll make a little more sense, but I'm very excited to get into a school bus build, so I think without spoiling any more, let's get into the video. So this will be in Strangerville because we will be finally my first time ever defeating the mother, which I believe that's what the term you utilize for when you go solve the mystery of Strangerville, which I'm very excited. So we're building that home in there, and that kind of came across a build where it was like a school bus, and I was like, that is such a smart idea. With Anna, our current generation, she is very, I keep saying groovy, but I feel like I cross over with boho fashion style, I guess, quite often, but she has like the bell-bottom pants, the tie-dyed shirts, a lot of browns and natures, very into planting and whatnot, and I don't know what that is, that mesh, but if you guys see one style, please always correct me whenever if I say the wrong things. I don't know a whole lot, but that's kind of where I came across with this idea for a school bus, and I'm very excited. I absolutely love this build. I won't lie, I'm a little concerned because I don't know how much Sims are gonna be with her, like what she's gonna live with or who she's gonna live with, because I did build this a little early in sense of gameplay. I built this when she was a kid. I like saw the idea and I was like, that is perfect. So I don't know if we're gonna move in with a friend or not, or even with a pet, but this is built for a single sim, so that's why I'm a little concerned. I'm just like, okay, I might have to change something out in the future or something, but I'm pretty sure we can figure it out and whatnot. And yeah, I think the other thing I found very complicated with this build overall was, I mean, obviously the shape. There is a school bus debug item, and I was like, oh, can I just use this? And it didn't really work, unfortunately. But the other thing was I originally was trying to make it a two-story because I was like, ooh, it'd be really cool to have a lofted school bus. But unfortunately, unfortunately my game crashed and deleted the whole entire build because somebody didn't save. And secondly, also, it looks huge, like humongous compared to the other like stuff next to it. It's already big compared to the trailer homes next to us, but imagining it 2 stories high, it was definitely looking huge. I was debating whether or not to change lots and whatnot, but I thought this lot would be perfect. Like our bus was kind of just ditched here. Maybe we're renting a bus that was renovated that was ditched here, because if you guys see, the wheel idea that I end up utilizing is just the rims. There's no actual tire, so I got pretty clever with it, but at the same time I don't know how this bus is holding up, so just don't think about it, I guess, right? That's what we usually do when we're building The Sims 4. And yeah, I love the look of it. I love the final look. I was quite impressed with how well I did, considering. The other thing that I'm a little concerned about is space, because I personally really want more open space through our gameplays, because I feel like when I pre-design builds like this, it can get kind of, what's it called? I don't know, hard to maneuver around when gameplay starts to happen. And with an idea like this, I really personally wanted it to look a certain way. So sometimes I can tend to forget, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play in this for days on days on days, but I'm hoping it'll work out well. We'll see when the time comes around. If you guys aren't keeping up with our Disney Princess Challenge, like I said, that's a-okay. I'm very excited. We're going from very luxurious, like living the high life, has private islands, like super rich, all about the pinks, and have multiple relationships, Aurora, to her daughter Anna, who is very, I don't want to say laid back, because they're very much like outgoing, living on the edge, but they're, what's it called, they're very much into nature, they're very much like adventurous, and they're willing to live in a abandoned school bus that's been renovated. So I'm very excited. But yeah, here's the little rims that I use. I believe it was Get to Work, and dang it, I can't really remember the other one, but if you guys want me to check it out, I can definitely, yeah, because that thing is from Get to Work. I just can't remember where the other one is, the thing I utilize as the tire part, or I guess none of that's a tire part, but just to align with the pieces of the whatnot. So yeah, I originally was gonna use that giant round bit decorative piece. I'm really bad, the thingamabob. But the issue with that one, because I originally used that on the first time I tried to do the school bus, but when it enlarges, it's too large for the single size bus. And so I was like, oh, okay, that doesn't work anymore. And that's where I was like, okay, maybe the tires are busted and there's no actual way to drive the school bus. So I was like, this works out. So structural integrity, I'm not quite sure about, but I absolutely love this. I do change out the little stop sign is a cat currently. I changed that out to be a dog later because we do currently have a dog, Hershey, a little miniature poodle, and he's absolutely adorable. I'm hoping he'll come along with us. We'll have to see. You know, pets sadly they do get old in the game. And we've had Hershey since they were a kid. Although I did age them up, but I changed out the sign. I thought that was super cute way to symbolize, hey, this is a school bus, but we're still in The Sims. Plus, it shows off that she likes, you know, dogs. Right now, it's a cat because I'm a cat lover, but, you know, she likes dogs more. So, that'll be changed out soon. I use that school sign. I think that's from high school years. And then I use those plates from Dine Out because I was looking at a reference for a school bus. And it had, like, these weird little black thingies that I couldn't really see on the blurry image. And I was like, that works out perfect. So, we made it work. I did use the, what's it called? The high school years escape window, and I just raised them up. Thankfully I was allowed to do that because I thought those were perfect for what the school windows looked like, at least for that part. All the other windows I had to kind of wing it because unfortunately they don't have really elongated windows, especially for the front, so I just used 2 different windows. And the window on the side that's meant for the driver to look out of is obviously not really what a school bus has, but I feel like I made it work. It definitely gets the message across, I feel like. I don't know. Scale of 1 to 10, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I feel like I did a 7. I feel like I did pretty good. I'm pretty sure all those amazing builders who know more about debug, maybe tricks and whatnot that they have that I don't, probably did way better and can do way better. But I'm getting there. I'm giving myself a 7. I'm giving myself a solid pat in the back because I feel like I did really good. And the only other thing, oh my god, I just remembered that I feel like is kind of like rough, I would say, is that there is big windows, so Anna doesn't get much privacy in the sense of if neighbors come by, or when you see like the people just going you only know if you know the game itself. For Strangerville, when people are possessed, you know, I feel like I always mimic it. It's such a thing. I'm like, whenever I see something I feel like it's kind of funny or cute, I mimic the behavior. And one of them is like when there's they like twist their neck and like, okay. If you know, you know. If not, that's fine. Join us live if you want to see us take on the mother. I'm very anxious. I feel like I've only watched one person take it on, but I've never, like, I don't really remember, so it's gonna be experience. Can I die? I don't know. We're probably gonna find out the hard way if we can die or not. And yeah, as for what we're doing for the little landscaping, I will delete what we're currently making, but man, I just want to use that, not Animal Crossing, the cottage living flooring so bad, but I have to like think about like what kind of build it will be because it doesn't really match the aesthetic of a lot of the other things in The Sims 4, in my own personal opinion. Like the flowers just look fake. It is like hard tiles, but I'm gonna find more ways to use it because I absolutely love that. I feel like that's my favorite flooring, and then my favorite wallpaper is the little ghost ones that come with the pastel ghosties. Those are my 2 favorite, but they're not really meant for every build, so I'm gonna try to use that more often. So now as for the little interior design and what we got going on, I wanted to mix, like I said, from the groovy style, which is why I pulled out that bed, to more boho, because that's kind of like the style that we're mixed between the 2. I don't really know. I'm trying to like combine them. And I was also trying not to use CC content in this build, so you guys can download it. It is on my gallery. And with the CC content that I do have, I have a lot of like tapestries and different pieces of artwork just to get the point across. So that's why I was like, okay, like there's not much art in it. And also the other thing is I wanted to keep the budget down kind of low because although our previous generation, if you do know, if you don't, that's a-okay. I always mention it's a-okay if you don't. But in the previous one, she took all of her mom's money, used that, bought a very expensive place. But as for Anna, she's going to share it between her 2 other sisters. And it's not going to be as much money. So I wanted to make sure our first place didn't cost as much. So I am very excited to show you guys the final, like, what's it called, the cost. Because I think it was pretty reasonable. I don't remember quite exactly. I know it's definitely, I think it's more than a starter home though, but I think I did pretty well considering that I like to blow up money. I don't really have a restriction on money. I kind of am just like, okay, build, and then I'm like, oh, 0 simoleons. Cool. Guess we're gonna have to lose some stuff. But I feel like I've been getting better, especially with those tiny home challenges we've been doing where it's like a certain budget. I've been getting good at putting the essentials down. But as for this build and like builds in general, that I'm like, okay, I want to get the idea and vision in my head out. I don't necessarily put the essentials down quite yet. But I definitely feel like I did pretty well on the budget on this one. It is also a tiny home. I didn't put anything in the yard that I wanted to, because I have a couple ideas depending on how Anna's story goes. Whether or not she has a kid, whether or not she has a partner, or whether or not she brings a friend with. Because as the story progresses, I feel like the ideas I have change. Originally, I wanted her sister Elsa to run away with her, but considering that she wants to go on the side quest of Strangerville like we agreed on in our streams, I felt like that's not something Elsa would want to do. So I was like, okay, this is Anna's venture. But now Anna has a friend that I'm like, maybe Anna's friend can come with. But then I'm like, I didn't really design this place for a two-person friendship thing. Maybe we could do bunk beds. That could always be fine. We can just add a woohoo bush outside if needed. I mean, you never know why, but like if we need one. That's usually the only reason why I'm like, double bed, let's go. So maybe I'll add that outside, and maybe bunk beds could be fun. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Like, should we bring a friend with to help us solve the mother? I don't really know, but I occasionally really want to emphasize a sense of friendship rather than romance, because I personally get stuck in romance stories. I'm just like, oh my god, they're so cute together. Let's ship them. I'm like, take the ship. Ahoy, mateys, let's go. But sometimes I'm just like, okay, let me step back. They can just be close friends, because what happens in The Sims, unfortunately, ruins the friendships, because they'll cheat. They'll call you and be like, hey, can I go date this person? Or what else do they do? They like, or I don't know, romance day or some, God, with the rules, like where it's open free romance. That one's gotten me so many times. I'm just like, Jesus, guys, like, I want a wholesome relationship. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I like the spice. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like, still, I'm just like, you gotta be careful. So sometimes I gotta remind myself, like, okay, this is just gonna be a friendship. We're keeping that way. Like, if you guys are watching our Rags to Ranches, I definitely recommend. Our friend keeps calling us for, okay, I won't spoil. Nope, I'm not gonna spoil. I just recommend, if you want to see that in context of like relationship and friendships, I definitely recommend watching that, because it's been very chaotic. I'm just like, I don't know how to handle. A lot of the time I'm just like, how do I like continue the story? I'm just like, you gotta roll with the punches with The Sims, I swear. But I think that's what I love about it. So now we're coming to the final few details, and I'm very excited to show you guys the final look of this build. And yeah, I feel like I did pretty well. I mean, we got the bathroom, we got a full set bathroom, we got the listening table, because that is something she's gonna be doing. I want to make sure we bought it already. So we have an understanding of how much money we need to really kick into her story. Plus, if you guys want to change it, I definitely want to redo this build to where it is like fully decked out, because I absolutely love it. I love being able to do these tiny configured homes for single Sims. I feel like it's a lot of fun. Once I get to like bigger houses, I'm just like, oh my god, how do I fit all these babies? I mean, my chat loves to have new kids, and I'm just like, guys, I don't want more kids. I don't want to think about where they're going, where they're fitting. But yeah, I absolutely love this whole entire build that I got to do. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. I'm very excited to show you guys the final look, and I'm excited to see how it changes and it grows with our story itself, in context. And I would love to hear you guys' idea whether or not should we keep it a single sim, or should we bring our friend along? I feel like that'd be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see. You never know in my challenge. The friend could die for all I know. But let's get into the final tour finally. Okay, so here we are with the final look of it, for now, at least. So I'm very excited to show you guys what we got going on inside. I feel like the exterior is absolutely 10 out of 10. But here we are in the kitchen. We do have, like, the appliances and stuff. I feel like if you're defeating the mother, having a sense of, like, oh my god, the end of the world might happen is always necessary. But we get, like, a nice little cozy kitchen, extra storage I feel like was necessary. And let's zoom this way. As you guys can see, we got just not a whole lot of decoration, a lot of empty walls, but I do plan to add to it later, like I said, especially since we're gonna bring a lot that we came with. I'm hoping at least we can put that on the walls too. So we just got a bed, nice groovy little bedroom / boho. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm trying to explain here with the two clashing kind of in a sense. We got the listening device, and over here is our bathroom. and extra TP, you know, cleaning supplies. And I did cover up the windows, although I feel like you'd have to be quite tall to like want to peer in there, if you know what I mean. So I wasn't too worried about that. Hopefully, you know, I don't know, if somebody's trying to peer in, I feel like you'd notice. But yeah, I'm planning to add like a lot when she moves in. Like we're gonna have our own garden and whatnot. So I'm excited to see how it turns out in the long run. And yeah, I think that'll do for the tour. And yay, that'll be it for this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new to this village, welcome on in. I'm excited because I feel like my build ideas are getting more out there. I mean, enjoying them way more, and I cannot wait to see what we get into next. So I would love to hear your guys' ideas. If you have any fun ideas that I can compilate or put together, I would love to. I do currently have a lot of like build videos that I'm already like put together and ready to post. So if it's later down the line, please understand that I am thinking about it. I am planning to do it. It just might take me some time, especially when it comes to story play builds. I typically prioritize those ones just so I get those out before the time comes by. So I can't wait to see what we get into next. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I'll see you guys in the next video.